An Austin woman is facing multiple charges of animal cruelty after 13 malnourished cats were found inside her apartment weeks after she had already moved out. 24-year-old Nayzak Najm moved out of the unit mid-January, but it wasn't until February when a resident at the complex reported the cats to the Austin Police Department. APD found the animals living in filthy, dangerous conditions. Of the 15 cats found in the apartment, 12 were malnourished but still alive. One cat was rushed to an emergency vet clinic in a condition so severe, staff recommended euthanasia. 2 other cats were found dead inside, and investigators say the surviving animals had been eating the remains. Animal control transported the surviving cats for evaluation and care.